demilitarization is not just about the physicality of the weapons, but it's about the ethos. It's about the kind of the cultural de-radicalization. It's about the embrace of the need for perpetual peace instead of the idea of armed resistance as the pathway towards Palestinian statehood and liberation. I think it was also disappointing, to put it very kindly and politely, to not see any real Palestinians in there. There
Right.
was Dr. Ali Shad, who was basically whisked away from the president as he was trying to say thank you towards the very end. We saw it actually, him physically being whisked away. I'm in Washington, D.C. I actually offered to go in there. I offered to bring in a cadre of young Palestinians with me. I would have loved to be there and share some of those broad thoughts and kind of make this something that's more than just a bunch of international players talking about Gaza and have Gazans being
Right.
present. But
Ahmed,
that was not the wishes.
why do you think that was the case? Why do you think there were no Palestinian voices at that table or on that stage, I should say?
Well, I can only speculate, but perhaps some of this is that maybe the Board of Peace is meant to do more than just Gaza. Maybe there really is truth to the fact that it is meant to be a parallel structure to the United Nations. Maybe there is a desire to carefully choreograph and control the Palestinian faces that are introduced and kind of shown to the world. After all, what I've been picking up is that NCAG, that's the National Committee for the Administration of Gaza, or the Technocratic Committee, they're not allowed to do very much without explicit authorization from the
Right.
United States. And so I find that troubling, to be honest, because you need a bigger tent. Yes, you got to control the process as you're proceeding, but you need to actually have a representative tent that can have legitimacy with the
Mhm.
Palestinian people.
What do Gazans and Palestinians think about this Board of Peace, think about this plan that Trump has for phase two, especially in the face of two kind of very differing realities? One is this claim by Trump that Hamas is going to disarm, that it's not going to have a choice or there will be consequences. And then this other reality, which is Hamas regrouping tactically during the ceasefire, something that is visually being experienced by Gazans on the ground.
So there are two schools of thoughts in Gaza about the Board of Peace, the committee. One is that there's just a desperation to see it actually succeed as the final and only hope to liberate them from Hamas's grip. And liberation from Hamas is a multi-tier process. There's getting rid of the guns and the weapons, getting rid of the tunnels, but at the very minimum, there is just getting rid of Hamas's governance apparatus and Hamas's thuggery and day-to-day control over Gaza. So there's a school of thought that is desperate to see it succeed, to improve quality of life, to improve access and freedom of movement, and to minimize the chance of a return to war. Then there's another school of thought that is extraordinarily cynical, highly skeptical, and almost thinks the whole thing is ultimately a joke because they're looking at Hamas being 100 steps ahead. Meanwhile, the board of the Technocratic Committee has barely succeeded in letting less than a few hundred people leave through the Rafah border crossing. They have no vision for security. They have no real presence. Hamas is collecting taxes. Hamas is
Hmm.
embedded in every aspect of society, and undoing that and untangling that from Egypt, from Cairo, and while managing this process between the United States and the Arab countries is going to take,
Right.
over a decade. So Gazans are very skeptical about this technocratic committee.